All right, people, we better get started here. We got some stuff going on today here. I got a question for you guys. Who, when you speak of courage, is that are you talking about courage without fear, or courage with fear?
Mm. Well, I have a question too, Dr. Bishop. What shall the Democrats do? And the second one is, are we in the golden age?
All right, people, you get ready for this show. It's coming up. Bye bye.
Welcome to the TED Ed Podcast, where we delve into the issues that shape our daily lives and drive our productivity. We confront topics that matter deeply to all of us, from healthcare and affirmative action to voting rights and monetary success and failure. We cover it all. And yes, we dive into the complex world of politics, exploring how our country has evolved from slavery to the 21st century. Our content is crafted with care and expertise, drawing from years of experience in these critical areas. We invite you to give the TED Ed podcast a listen. You won't be disappointed. Share your thoughts with friends and confidants, and don't forget to like, comment, and share our episodes. Your engagement helps us grow and reach more listeners. Are you passionate about these topics? Do you have unique insights to share? You could be one of our guest speakers. Drop us a line, send an email, or leave a comment. All requests will be considered. Join us on this journey of exploration and understanding. This is the TED Ed Podcast. Thank you, and enjoy the show.
Okay, folks, we are here. We're back here again today with our telecast here. I was just speaking here with Mr. T. Harvey here, and I was saying to him if we get enough folks out there who are following us and viewing what we're doing out here, that one day we make it censored because we, I, Mr. Harvey thinks I get too rough on people, but I don't. I think I'm being very nice to them. I really do, because I could say something a heck of a lot bad worse about the Donald Trump. Because I see right now that he don't care what he tells people and stuff. He calling the Americans and stuff what lazy and stupid or something he says on one of his Fox shows the other day. Yeah, the Americans are lazy and stupid. Well, if he can say somebody is lazy and stupid, I guess I can say he's ignorant. So anyway, uh, we got some stuff that we're gonna talk about here. And as usual, whatever you hear on this show is the truth. We're going to tell you all the absolute truth, whether you like it or whether you don't. So let's start with the truth, Harvey. What you got to say?
Well, the truth is, I want to know what shall the Dems do. But before that, I want to talk about the golden age. Well, because according to the mega red hats, we are now in the golden age. Now, here's the thing. There was a golden age, but that was in the 1800s. And it was the Dutch in the Netherlands. They were considered at that time the richest country in the world. And how did they get those riches? Because the Dutch, they weren't the first, but they was the main force. Recruited 1.7 million African slaves. They used those African slaves to build their economy and became a powerhouse. Then, because they became such a powerhouse, people started attacking their country, and most of them fled all over the world, but mostly to America. They became a powerhouse. Even today, they are a powerhouse. Very low-key people, but they are a powerhouse today. It was a powerhouse in the 1800s here in America and continue to be that force. And they lived the golden age. They lived a high lifestyle because of slavery. So that's the reason why I think America copycat off of them in such a way. The second thing, Ed, I want to talk about, unless you have any comments about that. You got any comments about that?
Mm-mm.
Because, see, the golden age now is what we're supposed to be living in now because Trump is taking over. Now, the thing is that I wanted to bring up is that it really transpires with several things. And when I say several, it's a number of things because I'm going to bring up some of the things that here's what Trump agenda is. In birthright citizenship. Pardon January 6th defendants. In the war in Ukraine. Implement tariffs. Increase oil drilling. In Biden's era of border policies. Made in America auto industry. In gender reaffirming care policies, practices. Begin a new mass deportation program. And cancel the electric vehicle mandate. Those are just a few. I got a few more, but I'm going to stop there. What do you think the agenda or the solution for the Democratic Party? I see that you have AOC out there speaking and everyone out there speaking. We're living in the golden age now. America should be pretty happy right now. Everybody should be happy because we're living in the golden age. Everybody making money, according to the Red Hats.
So what now you say? I was writing down some notes.
What shall the Democrats do?
Well, I have to go along with what Jasmine Crockett said in her interview she did about a week or so ago. And they asked her, the interviewer asked her and stuff, what should Democrats do? And I think I said this the other day, that the Democrats have a big tent. And each and every one of them have their own specialty that they should be doing. Now, are they doing it to the best of their ability? We don't know. But some of those can't do podcasts. Some of them can't go out and do what AOC and Bernie Sanders is doing. And some of them really can't even uh, do basic governmental work because they're so used to being up there in that Washington, D.C. bubble. So the only thing that I can say to them, Ted, is to tell them, get the hell out of that damn bubble. And I don't care what you do, get out of that bubble because it's not doing you any good. And there's been a lot of people, critics and stuff, commenting about the fact that most of those representatives, including Republicans, they rely too much upon that bubble. You need to get out around the folks and stuff who put you in office, whether if you doing a town hall or whether you're going or sending your people out there to do a town hall. You need to get in contact because the communication that's been going on for up until now, it's not getting to the people who need to get that message. And it shows when they're did a poll and stuff, and you only find 27% of the people in the United States and stuff like what the heck you doing. That's how good your popularity is. So you're doing something wrong, Democrats. You need to get out there and do something different. Really, you really do, because most people right now, Ted, that they don't trust Republicans or Democrats. So you out there fighting something and you're not even being trusted by people. And that's one of the things that I wrote down here as a topic and stuff on my list here. Trust. If people don't trust you, I don't care what you say to them. It's not going to matter. So you're going to have to get out there and find out how you're going to get the trust and stuff with the people. And I still go back to that Chuck Schumer's bull crap he did the other day and say that he had all of the trust that people ever thought they had in him is gone now. Because when you sit down there and do what the heck he did, I can't trust that man no more. I don't trust him as a leader. I don't care what he says or how much money he gets and stuff. You can sit back and be a money maker, a money getter, but you don't need to be a leader because you are not a leader. If you got to tell somebody you're a leader, you're not a leader. If you got to holler to the sky, but what I did was right. You don't have to say it. You don't have to say it. Go ahead.
How did the Democrats lose their trust?
Well, I think probably what the heck happened and stuff, they really misjudged. They misjudged what was going on out there in the public view. They misjudged what the heck happened. And
No, I'm just asking, how did they lose their trust? How did the Democrats lose their trust, bro?
well, there's a lot of things that are going on with the Democrats. They are, in my opinion, I think what had happened and stuff is that, in this, especially if you're looking back into this past election and stuff and everything, I think probably what happened, uh, they misread what was going on out there in the public. Most of us were looking at the crowd size, but we weren't looking at the people and stuff who were going to get out there and vote. Because Kamala had, wherever she went, she had a huge crowd size. You're looking at 40, 50,000 people standing up there. But those 40 or 50,000.
I'm still asking, how did Democrats lose their trust?
They lost their trust and everything because they can't trust them to do anything. It goes, Ted, it goes back. It goes all the way back as far as I can tell. It goes back to when Obama was in office.
Okay, I'm listening. You saying it goes back that far?
It goes back that far.
So, okay, Obama took us out of the mud in the ditch.
Let me explain what I was trying to say. goes back until then, because that's when I was really, really, really paying very close attention to what was going on. President Obama could have got a hell of a lot more stuff done during his tenure if he hadn't have had these knucklehead Democrats, these blue dog Democrats from whatever states that they were from and district that they were from. They went and voted with the Republicans and stuff when they had the power. Every time the Democrats get the power, they never get everything done that they need to get done. No matter what's going on, you're going to find somebody who is not going to vote to get some positive things and stuff done. And they started with Obama. He had those blue dog Democrats who did not vote for him to get this stuff done. And he had a platter of different initiatives that he wanted to get done. But he couldn't get it done because those knucklehead blue dogs in the Congress did not vote to do the things that he needed to get done. And when the next election came on, every last one of them who was sitting up there and they voted and stuff like the Republicans voted, lost their election. So they lost the House. You get to the point and stuff to where you were sitting there and Obama could have got a lot more judges and stuff put on the bench, but they never got it. And they never stick together and stuff to do anything like the Republicans do. Most of the time, these Republicans, they sticking together. And right now, they're sticking together even further, knowing that what they're doing is screwed up, but they sticking together and they shutting their mouth up. If you can't trust your representative to stand up and stuff for you, then you done lost their trust. That's my opinion.
Okay. Bullshit. That's what I say. I'm looking here now. We have discussed this while Obama was even in office. Well, no, we haven't, but we discussed it when George Bush was in office. His administration continued the banking bailout, did that. The auto industry rescue. He immediately enacted an $800 billion stimulus program, American Recovery and Reinvestment Act in 2009, which included a blend of additional spending tax cuts. He also did the Ledbetter Fair Pay Act, Children Health Care Insurance Program, which was called CHIP, CHIP, and then winning approval of a congressional budget resolution. Those are some of the things he did. And it was for the American people. And if you go to Joe Biden, all the things he did was phenomenal. More than anyone ever. And he came from the pandemic. Now, trust. No, it wasn't trust. It was guerrilla marketing. They dogged these people left and right, everything else but politics. They called Obama all kind of names. He wasn't a citizen. He wasn't a Christian. He wasn't this. He wasn't that. And then the same thing with Joe Biden. First, they tried to do the Catholic thing, but they said, "Oh, we can't do that because there's too many Catholics voting for us." The American people are stupid. Stupidity is in the air. and convince them and program them to believe whatever they say. You keep saying it enough, then you start believing it. These two presidents, I'm talking about Obama and Biden, saved this country, and tried to build it up in many, many different ways. Just because you don't see it or feel it, it's happening. It was happening. So I don't think it was trust. I really don't. I don't think it was trust. I think it's stupidity. People didn't like their agenda as far as equality. They didn't like it. Inclusion. They didn't like him doing the things that he tried to do to help alleviate these student loans. They didn't like, I'm trying to figure out, they didn't even like the infrastructure bill because they didn't vote on it. Only a few people voted on it. President Obama tried to do, he wanted to put internet all over the country. Joe Biden did that, tried to do it. They didn't complete it. It was supposed to be a 10-year plan. He set it aside. He tried to get over $2 trillion, almost 2.5 trillion. They only gave him 1 point, I think it was like almost 2 trillion over 10 years to give everybody internet all over the country. And now more people now ever has gotten the internet. The thing is that they were building on things. And then they saved so many things. I think it's just guerrilla marketing, bro. That's all I believe it is just guerrilla marketing. When you got 17,000 or so many thousands of radio stations talking that BS all over the country, especially in those red states all the time. All they do is call people names. You're dumb. He ain't nothing but a dumbass. He ain't nothing. He's Sleepy Joe. He don't know what he's doing. It's just stupidity, bro. Ignorance. When you don't do your own reading and you don't do your own research or you don't do critical thinking, you don't see what the policies are that's helping you and your family down the road. It's stupidity. Drill, baby, drill. Yeah, we should still use petroleum to a certain degree. But at the same time, here's the agenda. Let me just give you the agenda of the Democrats. I wrote it all down here. Some of the things that they want to do. See if I can find it here. Climate change, economic integrity, affordable housing and public housing, safe place to live, overturn Citizens United, limited big power politics, racial injustice, gun violence, political, can't even read my own writing shit, political polarization of voter suppression, healthcare expansion, gun violence, immigration reform, foreign relations, geopolitics, reform educational system. All those things are for the American people. It's stupidity, bro. That's what it is. Ignorance. That's my opinion.
Okay. President President Obama got the Affordable Care Act passed, but it wasn't the original plan that he had when he first started out. His Democratic folks watered that thing down so much that we got just barely what he wanted to have in that Affordable Care Act. Barely got what he wanted. He wanted a lot more people to be covered under the health care plan that he did not get. He wanted to have negotiate drug prices and stuff there for along with the Affordable Care Act for people out there. He had one hell of a time getting the children's health care approved and stuff through Congress. They cut that thing so bad that a whole lot of kids and stuff who could have been under the children's health care plan and stuff didn't get a chance to get under there because of what the Democrats did. They sold him out to get that done. He had the immigration thing that you talked about. He tried to get it so the children and stuff and everything who were born here and stuff under, because their parents had brought them here and everything, he had to finally do a presidential act. He had to write in the act and everything to protect those kids because the Republicans wanted to throw them out of the country along with their parent a long time ago when Obama was in there. There were that 700 and some $billion and stuff that he had for that to deal with the crisis and stuff that we had. He was asking for a hell of a lot more than that, but he finally had to settle for that 700 and some $1 billion because he could have did a heck of a lot more with that money. He wanted to do something like what Clinton had and have those enterprise zones and stuff and everything to where the poor community, the people in minority communities and stuff can have monies and stuff that's going to go into their pockets and stuff and everything to create monies and stuff and jobs and stuff for those folks and stuff who didn't have it. Congress would not give that to him. He had a long list here of stuff and everything that our Congress, when he was, we had both of those houses of Congress and stuff under our control at that time when he first came into office. And he did not get it did because them son of a gun sat down there and sold him down the drain. President Biden, he got a lot done, but he could have got a lot more done. A lot more done. He could have had a lot more judges and stuff and everything and stuff ran through that system and stuff, but those Democrats and stuff let him down. He had, I can't think about the other couple of things that he had going on, that he himself had to go over there and beg the Republican to support this thing because he couldn't get enough daggone support from his Democratic folks and stuff there in Congress, especially that knucklehead man from West Virginia and that knucklehead woman and stuff from Arizona. They stopped a whole bunch of his stuff that he wanted to get done. So how do you trust a party that when they're in power, they get some things done, but not as much as they could have? And most of the American people realize that they did not get those things done. When you get in power, you have to be ruthless and get your stuff done. But they aren't. They just a bunch of limp knuckleheads. And yes, the American people might not be as smart as we probably want them to be, but we got congressional representatives and stuff and everything that just as limp and weak and stuff as anybody else. And they don't have no backbone at all sometimes to do anything. So that's my take on it.
Well, we're just gonna go back and forth, so I'm gonna cut it off right there. I ain't gonna go no further.
Yep, let's do that. Does Tesla now? I've been reading and checking things out and stuff on them and finding out why in the heck is that board allowing this knucklehead to still be in charge of Tesla.
Me too.
And it comes to find out that they are trying to protect him and not really attacking what the heck the problem and stuff is, and that's him. He is a problem for them. Yes, he brought them out of nowhere. He did that. He gave them that electric car thing and stuff. But sometimes, just like in any big company, Ted, your CEO can bring you out of the wilderness, but they can't keep you going down the path. You have to find another CEO and stuff and everything to continue your growth. And right now, they're dependent too much upon what this man did in the past and not understanding that they need a new leader and stuff there to take them forward, not to hold them back to where he's still going to be in charge. I don't understand that. And then all them old ugly looking old truck that he got out there, they done had to recall all of them because the panels is falling off of it. So those things aren't looking very good and stuff for Tesla as a car.
I'm just trying now in your reading on this, because I've been trying to debate the whole thing too myself, because I'm trying to figure out why are they still sticking with this guy?
That's
What
what I'm
is
saying.
the whole reason? I know that he knows how, or for whatever reason, he knows how to pay these people, these politicians and what have you, and maybe he has convinced them to give him time, and he's going to bring those shares up. But I ain't hoping nothing, but I'm just saying, I'm looking at that thing going under 200. If it goes under 200, 197, 195, I think it's going to be some,
Well,
because
I
nobody's
said
buying
this.
Teslas no more, bro.
I said this several months ago that, and I as my reading and stuff, I found this stuff out that they were in trouble and stuff a long time before he decided to get involved in stuff in politics. Those early Tesla cars that they had on the market and stuff, and they brought them out. Those cars were their batteries and stuff were limited to what I think like 200-mile range, and that was it. They couldn't get anything anymore out of them. So after about 2 or 3 years of those cars being out there on the market, they have to take those cars. Most of those cars and stuff were brought back to the car dealership. And they're coming to find out now that the batteries that they have in those cars and stuff aren't the new types of batteries that they need to get that mileage and everything and stuff up. So most of those batteries they're worn out. They're going to have to be replaced. And to put new batteries and stuff in there, you talking 10, 15, $20,000 to put a new battery in there. And most people aren't willing to have an older model car, Tesla, and then spend another $15,000 to put a battery in, or sometimes $20,000 to put a newer battery in there so they can get a longer mileage and stuff out of it.
Wait a minute? Are you saying that the batteries only last 250,000?
No, they only go 200 and some miles. That's the farthest that they would go. When you power them up at their maximum amount of charging and stuff, you're only going to get 200 miles out of that. Well, these cars and stuff now, electric cars now are getting 400 and 500 miles. Okay. So you're going to need another battery that you're going to have to install in those older cars to get to that mileage and stuff and everything that people are getting now out of these newer model cars.
And they don't bother to, okay, well, we're going to do something different, and
They
maybe we'll
didn't,
replace it.
figure out a way and stuff and everything how to retrofit those old batteries and stuff and give them so they can have more power that they can get a further distance and stuff in. So people can go out now who would like to have a Tesla, but they can't afford the newer ones. But if the batteries were okay and stuff on the old ones and stuff, then they would probably go and buy the older cars, older Teslas and stuff, so they can ride around and have an electric car. At least that's how my thought and stuff in that is. So
I'm
those
gonna
cars,
have to research and look at all the readings of
yeah,
what
those
their
cars
corporate
and stuff.
office. No, I
Those
understand
cars,
that part
yeah,
because
you
I got a
you
brother that
got
owns a
several
Tesla.
million cars out there that are sitting out there, and these car dealers can't sell them. They're just sitting there. They got lots that they stocking them up in and everything, and they can't do anything with them.
Well, they recalled those trucks he got.
Yep, I thought that's what I just said. They got every last one of the trucks that they put out, them ugly trucks. You know, I call them ugly. But they had to recall all of them because the panels are falling off of it.
Yeah, they just recalled all those. But I'm still
But
trying to figure out. I'm still trying to figure out how come their board, unless he paying those boards a tremendous amount of money, and they gonna stick with him no matter what. But I'm sorry, bro. These people have lost a lot of money. A lot of money. Your stock is 50% down. Unless they took a lot of that money out of there themselves when they knew that it was going to go down. Could have been some price gouging. Oh, well, I apologize, some profit taking. That's the only thing I can see. They saw the handwriting on the wall and they started just dumping it. But the small investor, those 401ks, those people invested in that, they done lost their money. They can forget about it.
yeah, because they don't have control over what the people who are in charge of their 401ks do. They have to follow whatever that company that they entrusted to handle their money managers. And if their money manager didn't get out of that Tesla stock soon enough, yeah, they lost a hell of a lot of money. I wanted to bring that up, throw that out there, change the subject. Go ahead, yours.
I'm gonna go back to my thing. Number one, pass healthcare reform, rescue the economy, pass Wall Street reform, negotiate a deal to block a nuclear Iran, secure U.S. committee to a global agreement on climate change. He went from after that fiasco, eliminated Obama, then Bin Laden, ended U.S. combat missions in Iraq and Iran. And during that time, when he got in office, the foreign rating was 16%. He brought it up to 86% worldwide. Turned around the U.S. auto industry. Replaced Don't Ask, Don't Tell. Supported federal recognition of same-sex marriages. Reversed Bush torture policies. Tell me when to stop because I can go on. Establish rules to limit carbon emissions from power plants. Normalize relations with Cuba. Put Medicare on sounder financial footing. Protected dreamers from deportation. Establish net neutrality. Protected 2 liberal seats on the U.S. Supreme Court. Boosted fuel efficiency standards. Kicked banks out of federal student loans program, expanded Pell Grant funding, improve American image abroad, left his mark on the federal judiciary system, diversified the federal bureaucracy, passed the Fair Sentencing Act, revived the Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, expanded wilderness and watershed protection, gave the FDA the power to regulate tobacco, trimmed and reoriented missile defense, kick-started clean energy investments, reduced the threat from nuclear weapons, passed credit card reforms, cut veterans' homelessness by half, enacted government surveillance reform, expanded overtime pay, cracked down on bad for-profit colleges, I remember that. Ooh, that was a big issue. Cut the deficit. Yes, he did. Created the college scorecard, improved school nutrition, expanded the definition of hate crimes, recognized the dangers of carbon dioxide, strengthened women's rights to fair pay, secured the removal of chemical weapons from Syria, protected LGBTQ Americans from employment discrimination, reduced discrimination against former prisoners in federal hiring. You want me to stop? Won major victories against housing and mortgage discrimination, expanded broadband coverage, expanded healthcare coverage for children, improved food safety, let the space shuttle die and killed the planned moon mission, rebuilt and fortified the Gulf Coast for Katrina, avoided scandal. That's a lot. That's a lot. And that ain't even all of it. He did so much, man. You know, a lot of people really, while he was doing that, I used to watch the stuff, man. I used to watch all of those programs and everything. And he was doing a lot for the American people. And he did a lot for them. He wasn't appreciated, but he did a lot. He did a lot. Because he didn't have the votes in most of the cases, that did hinder him, but that wasn't his fault. That's those non-voters that didn't vote. So I don't think it's the Democrats, bro. It's the people. When you don't educate the masses and let them know what's going on, and it's a shame. And then we don't even want to talk about the stock market. The stock market tripled under his watch. Because he did that initiative for startups. And then those IPOs was going crazy. And that's why the stock market right now is because he created all of those venture capitalists and gave them an avenue to invest. But first he had to save the country and get them out of hock. And he did that. So if the people don't trust, that's their problem because they don't vote. Now we got what we got. We got what we got. We got two knuckleheads. The only thing they're interested in is for themselves. and for their billionaire friends and for corporations. And corporations, yeah, they want lower interest rate. I can understand that. But one thing for sure, they go what the people want. And once they start losing money, they're going to say, wait a minute. Once them sales, look at Target right now. Target and tank so bad it's ridiculous. Once these people start losing money, they're going to say, wait a minute. But we'll see. Ain't his fault. It ain't Biden's fault. And it ain't really the Democrats' fault. Because we're in a new era. We're in the guerrilla marketing stage. They done made the president, the Senate, and Congress a clown show. When you had that Tea Party and now you got the red hats, they done made this country a clown show. We don't have dignitaries no more. We don't have statesmen no more. We don't have serious people up there no more. When I say that, I'm talking about in generality, for the most part. People want to be entertained now. Where's the intellect? Where's the truth of really what's going on? It's going to be a sad day, bro, when we're talking about all these people going to get hurt. He think it's a joke. He stood up there on the podium of the White House, sitting up there, yeah, I'm closing, and did a little smirk. I'm going to close down Department of Education. And then he put the loan thing somewhere else. Who knows? They're probably going to give it back to the banks now so they can really start charging interest on these other people. They get all those loans out for school loans. It's crazy, bro. Stupidity. Then going amok.
Okay, we got our Democratic Attorney Generals are doing town halls and stuff in Minnesota yesterday. They plan on going to Colorado, doing a town hall there, and eventually get back to the gritty state of New York. So we have some folks out there who are trying to find out what's going on with the American people and what they need for them to do, and to let them know that all of this mess that's going on up there with Doge and everything, they are doing everything they can to fight it. And it's not going to be going on without someone saying something about it. So these Democratic attorney generals and stuff, who were led by the Minnesota Attorney General Keith Ellison, decided that they wanted to get out there and do something, and to let the American people and stuff know that they are standing in the need and they're behind their backs. There is a real constitutional crisis going on with the executive branch of government and the judicial branch of government. And some nasty stuff is going on with these judges' rulings and stuff against the Trump administration. Some of them are being threatened. by their rulings. And we come to find out that one of Trump's appointees and stuff on the bench, Barrett, Coney Barrett, I guess they couldn't get to her and everything, so they called up and threatened her sister.
What?
They threatened her sister, said they had a bomb in her mailbox.
Damn. That's what they do.
Yeah. So, and now he has, I don't know if it's successful or not and stuff, but he's gotten some of these knucklehead Republican congressmen and stuff and everything who are talking about bringing impeachment charges against these judges who are ruling against Trump. And to really make it look real nasty or whatever, you finding Musk and everything, he's donating contributions and stuff to every Republican representative who are talking about bringing impeachment charges against these judges. It is getting very ugly out there, and it's something that we probably need to keep a very close eye on and stuff, how strong these judges and stuff are going to be, because these folks are bringing these frivolous charges and stuff. They are telling it has been unheard of to have a U.S. Attorney General and stuff stand up there in front of the public and tell folks that a judge has no right to ask her folks and stuff to bring information before the judge to justify what they have done. Very nasty. And man, it is. I don't know what to think about this stuff, and if our people out there have not gotten riled up and stuff now, I don't know what's going to rile them up, because we got some bad stuff going on out there. One other thing that I want to bring up before I do my our little last word here. The one of the folks and stuff on the Canadian Parliament has put forth a notice and stuff to the Canadian people that they should not come, and there's a warning out now for them Canadian folks not to come to the United States. There's been reports and stuff made that some of their citizens and stuff have been subjected to searches, and one of them, I guess, was arrested and stuff and everything for absolutely nothing, and come to find out that the lady and stuff and everything were thrown into a jail, and she was in there for a week before she got a chance to speak to her counselor and everything, so they can find out that she was detained illegally. So the Canadian Parliament is telling their people, you need to stay out of the United States. And also, we are finding out that some of the other countries and stuff like United Kingdom and Germany are giving warnings and stuff to their citizens and stuff not to come to the United States. Totally unheard of, man, in our era. And as far as I know, that people were afraid, foreigners were afraid to come, and their governments and stuff and everything are warning their citizens and stuff about coming to the United States. That's all I got to say. There's a lot of crap going on out there. A lot of people being threatened.
Well, there's a famous location that has a beach there, and where all the Canadians go. None of them showed up, and the man is going. That area is going. They're going berserk because that's how they make their living. That's how they've been living, because a lot of Canadians come to this particular beach. I forget the name of it because it was a report on it, and none of them showed up.
Mm-hmm. This man said he's going to
This
lose
is
his
where we
business
at, bro.
because of that.
This is where we at. And look
Yep.
here, Florida makes most of their money on tourism. So they can play that game if they want to. So if that's the game they're playing, that's my last word, bro.
That's your last word? Oh, okay. Well, I guess that was mine too. That we finding that some of these other countries are telling their citizens to be aware coming to the United States because they have no idea what the ICE folks going to do with them, or that they could be arrested or they could be detained illegally. So anyway, it's getting real nasty out there, and somebody's going to have to give. I don't know who it's going to be, but either Trump's going to have to give up all this old crap that he's doing and stop the terror mess and everything and treat folks and stuff outside this country like they are human beings, or if he keeps on escalating this stuff and everything, I don't know what the heck going to happen here. And he wants to make America great, so they'll be made great by themselves. We'll be isolated. No one coming to visit our country. We'd be just like Russia. Nobody wants to come here. Anyway, people, have a good day. We enjoyed you, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.